Iniimbestigahan na ng Armed Forces of the Philippines ang pagkasawi ng 11 sundalo at pagkakasugat ng 7 iba pa sa isinagawang airstrike sa Marawi City. Ayon kay Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana, ikinalungkot ng pamahalaan ang nasabing insidente.
Target naman ng pamahalaan na tapusin na ang krisis sa Marawi City ngayong darating na weekend. At ayon pa kay Lorenzana, may 8 ng foreign terrorists na nasawi sa operasyon ng pamahalaan. May report si Rocky Ignacio.
Ipinabutos ni Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana kay AFP Chief of Staff General Eduardo Año ang investigasyon sa pagkasawi ng 11 sundalo at pagkasugat ng 7 iba pa dahil sa tinawag na friendly fire sa Marawi City. Sa press briefing sa Malacanang, sinabi nito na posibleng umabot sa 3 hanggang 5 araw bago matukoy ang pinagmula ng insidente.
There were 2 planes flying and the first plane dropped their ordnance accurately. Pero yung pangalawa, sumablay, tumama doon sa tropa natin. We are still conducting an investigation headed by the Chief of Staff. What really happened, kung nagkaroon ba ng miscommunication or there was an error of somebody there on the ground or on the air sa parte ng piloto.
Ikinalungkot ang pamahalaan ng pangyayari at ito ang unang pagkakataon na mangyari ito sa operasyon ng militar.
Very painful to the soldiers, yung mga kasamahan din nila na bakit binubomba tayo ng kasamahan natin. But we just have to explain to them that accidents happen. And also to the family, we will try to assuage the sorrows of the families of those who were killed.
Ipinaubaya naman ni Lorenzana sa mga commander kung kakailanganin pa rin ang airstrike.
It would be the call of the ground commander if they needed the strikes. Pero medyo limitahan mo na natin yung strike to the aircraft that can deliver accurately.
Magkagayunman tuloy pa rin ang operasyon ng tropa sa Marawi at nananatili ang target na tapusin ang krisis hanggang weekend. Tukoy na rin anya nila ang kinaroroonan ni Isnilon Hapilon, bantay sarado ito kaya magkakaroon ng dagdag puwersa.
Tomorrow afternoon, let's see. Very fluid naman itong sitwasyon na ito. We can adjust siguro maybe towards this weekend or Sunday. But malapit na, konti na lang yung package of resistance ng Mauti.
Kinumpirma rin ito na may 8 foreign terrorists ang namatay sa operasyon, pati na ang pagdaloy ng foreign funding na hinahawakan ni Hapilon.
There were 8 foreign fighters that were killed. Nationalities, 2 Saudis, several Malaysians and Indonesians, 1 Yemeni, 1 from Chechnya.
Samantala, ipinalabas na ang General Order No. 1 kung saan nakapaloob ang mga patakaran sa pag-iral ng martial law. Si Lorenzana ang tumatayong administrator ng pag-iral ng martial law sa Mindanao. Para sa Bayan, Rocky Ignacio.
Aminado si Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana na hirap ang militar na lubos na sugpuin ng mga terorista sa Marawi City. Kabisado raw kasi ng mga ito ang pasikot-sikot sa lugar. Para sa detalye, umaaksyon live si Kay Inson. Kay?
Lia, bukas na yung deadline na ibinigay ng gobyerno para tuluyang tuldukan yung gulo dito sa may Marawi City. Pero sa kabila nga yan, base na rin doon sa mga nakikita natin ay tila malabo pa itong mangyari. Sa eksklusibong video na ito nakuha ng News 5, makikita ang ilang bahagi ng lungsod na sentro ng operasyon ng militar. Kita rito ang nasusunog ng mga istruktura. Makikipot naman ang mga iskinita at dikit-dikit ang mga konkretong bahay. Kaya ang militar, aminadong nahihirapang sukulin ng mga kalaban.
They were actually hold up on reinforced buildings and pati yung mga kanyon natin parang hindi tumatalab .
Taga Marawi ang karamihan sa mga kalaban kaya alam nila ang pasikot-sikot doon. May tunnel din daw na nilulusutan ng mga bandido habang maganda rin ang pwesto ng kanilang mga sniper.
We have so many snipers around na shooting at our soldiers. So dahan-dahan yan. And it is a built-up area and kung minsan yung line of fire ng ating mga kanyon hindi rin makita dahil na-obstruct ng ibang building yun .
Kasama pa rin daw ng mga bandido sa pakikipaglaban ng leader ng Mauti Group na sina Abdullah at Omar Kayam. Naroon din daw si Isnilon Hapilon. May diskarte rin daw ang Mauti na nagsasalita ng oras sa pakikipaglaban. Pero kung ilan na lang ang tinatayang bilang ng mga kalaban, hindi naman magtugma ang sinasabi ng DND at ng militar.
According to reports that we received recently there were about 500 fighters in all na kalaban natin doon .
We are confronting about 40 to 50 armed elements. Okay? the battlefield is very fluid, very dynamic, okay? So our action is to be more proactive.
Sa huling tala, pumalo na sa 120 kalaban ang patay sa patuloy na opensiba ng militar. 25 naman sa hanay ng gobyerno. Lia, kasabay nga yan ay kumalat ang balita na nakalabas na raw ng Marawi City ang leader ng Abu Sayyaf na si Isnilon Hapilon, pero hanggang ngayon ay wala pa tayong nakukuhang kumpirmasyon kaugnay dyan mula sa militar. Lia.
Maraming salamat, Kay Inson.
It was an incident that caught everybody by surprise. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana explains what happened in the failed airstrike that killed 11 soldiers fighting terrorists in Marawi.
There were two planes flying, and the first plane dropped their ordnance accurately. Pero yung pangalawa, sumablay, tumama dun sa tropa natin.
The soldiers were about 100 meters away from the target. So why did the bomb hit them? Lorenzana says either the pilot made an error or ground troops may have given wrong coordinates. He adds the troops in Marawi are now using ordinary bombs and not precision ammunition that locks on targets.
Sometimes mistakes happens, and we hope to those mistakes do not happen, but nangyayari nga, and all we can do is to situate that it will not happen again.
This is supposedly a first for the Air Force. Armed Forces Chief General Eduardo Año, the implementer of martial law in Mindanao, will lead a probe on the incident. Lorenzana, who is the martial law administrator, says the military may now limit or even suspend airstrikes in Marawi.
It will be very painful to the soldiers. Yung mga kasamahan din nila na bakit binubomba tayo ng kasamaan natin. But we just have to explain to them that accidents happen. And also to the family, we will try to assuage the sorrows of the families of those who were killed.
Año ordered the AFP Inspector General to create a board of inquiry for the incident. Major General Rafael Valencia will head the probe. Lorenzana expects probe results in a few days. He says either certain members of the command would be held responsible or just charge the failed operation to bad experience. Meanwhile, the military says it is focused on finishing its mission to clear Marawi of terrorists.
We know where we are entering into. But the mission continues. Meron pa rin po tayong kailangang gampanang tungkulin.
AC Nichols, CNN Philippines.
Iminungkahi ni Senate President Coco Pimentel sa Armed Forces of the Philippines na pag-aralan at isaayos muli ang pagsasagawa ng airstrike. Ito ay kasunod ng pagkamatay ng 11 sundalo dahil sa friendly fire. May ulat si Joy Gumatay.
Mas maingat na pagsasagawa ng airstrike ang pinanawagan ni Senate President Aquilino Coco Pimentel III matapos mapag-alamang 11 sundalo ang namatay at 7 pa ang naiwang sugatan dahil sa isang friendly fire, bahagi ng estratehiya ng Armed Forces of the Philippines sa nagpapatuloy na bakbakan ng militar at Maute Group sa Marawi City.
Huwag sila masyado maniwala, nakarely sa technology, sabi nila ipasok lang daw yung coordinates, doon natatama yung bomba. You double check, hindi on paper that might be the way the bombs were marketed, but in reality, tama ba?
Bagamat naniniwala si Pimentel na hindi maiiwasan ang pagkamatay ng mga miyembro ng puwersa seguridad ng pamahalaan dahil sa sarili nitong taktika, aniya isang paalala ang pagkakamaling ito para muling pag-aralan at isaayos ng militar ang kanilang sistema at pulisiya sa pagsasagawa ng airstrike. Samantala, iba naman ang opinyon ni Senadora Risa Ontiveros na ikinagulat at lubhang nasaktan sa balitang ito mula pa mismo kay AFP spokesperson Brigadier General Restituto Padilla.
Hindi talaga kakayanin kahit ng pinaka-developed na bansa ang precision strike talaga, lalo na sa isang syudad tulad ng Marawi na very heavily built up. Napakahirap na terrain para sa urban warfare.
Matapos ipahayag ng Senado ang suporta sa deklarasyon ng Batas Militar sa Mindanao, umaasa ang mga mambabatas na maibabalik ang kalayaan at kapayapaan sa Marawi City tulad ng ipinangako ni Martial Law Administrator Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana. Para sa Bayan, Joy Gumatay.
On the 10th day of the crisis, aside from airstrikes, artillery blasts, and heavy gunfire still filled the air here in Marawi City. And of course, because of that accident involving an airstrike yesterday. The military says they will no longer use their SF-260 aircraft during airstrikes here in Marawi, but they may still utilize other aircraft if necessary. One of these airstrikes Wednesday morning could have accidentally killed 11 and injured 7 soldiers. The military calls it fratricide, or friendly fire, the death of soldiers in the hands of their own. Despite this, relentless airstrikes found enemy strongholds in Marawi City, with these OV-10 aircraft dropping bombs to its targets. By noontime, a rather strange roaring sound. It's now 12:20 in the afternoon, and we just heard that bomb which came from a jet flying over Marawi City. After the accidental friendly fire on Wednesday, the military says the ground commander can still use air assets as necessary.
Ang ground commander po natin sa lugar na yan ang siyang magde-decide kung kinakailangan niyang suspindihin ang paggamit nito o hindi. Kasi may hinaharap pa po tayong mga kalaban dyan na kinakailangan sugpuin at kung kinakailangan gamitin pa ito.
The embattled city continues to suffer the ravages of war, as Mountie members supposedly ransack houses and offices like this one of the Bangsamoro Development Council office, a few meters from a police checkpoint. They even leave a graffiti on the wall, a reminder of their attempt to seek ISIS recognition. Defense Secretary Delfin Lorenzana says the crisis may end by Friday. But he admits around 100 Mountie fighters are standing their ground in various areas of the city. That's why reinforcements from as far as Manila are still coming in. From the airstrikes to ground combat, it appears the end may not yet be in sight. Well, the military is very careful with their movements now, especially in hitting the strongholds of the Mountie group at the city center. They say that their movements should be precise because many civilians are still trapped in that area. Pia.
George, what did authorities say about ending the crisis tomorrow?
Well, they say that they're doing their best to meet that target, but of course, according to AFP spokesman Restituto Padilla, the timeline is on the hands of the commander on the ground. But you know, they still have 30 hours to make it, and of course, so many things can still happen within that period. Pia.
George Quiles there reporting from Marawi.
Bilang na ang araw ng mga miyembro ng teroristang Mountie Group sa Marawi City, ayon kay National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon, tatapusin ng militar ang krisis sa Marawi City sa loob ng 2 linggo. Ipinaliwanag ng general na kailangan ng militar ng sapat na panahon dahil hindi lang Mountie Group ang kalaban ng gobyerno sa Mindanao. Tinukoy din ni Esperon ang rebuilding NPA, Abu Sayyaf at Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters na banta pa rin sa seguridad sa rehiyon. Dagdag pa ni Esperon, 3 pang tulay ang kailangan bawiin sa Marawi City at kailangan pa ng militar ng sapat na panahon.
President Duterte is back in Malacanang today after almost a week in Mindanao since he declared a martial law. This afternoon, he led the mass oath-taking of government officials. In a speech, Mr. Duterte said he is saddened by the policemen and soldiers killed in operations against the Mountie Group in Marawi. Here's the president in his own words.
Marami akong patay. I'm very sad. Marami akong sundalong patay. Marami ang mga polis ko patay. Hindi lang nila nire-record ang ilan. It keeps on increasing every day for as long as that war rages on.
Right now, the president is in a command conference, a regular meeting he holds with security officials. Presidential spokesman Ernesto Abella says the situation in Mindanao will most likely be discussed.
Dito lang tayo sa lobby. Pasok po muna. Pasok po muna. Pasok dito. Pasok po muna. Ano daw meron? Dapat lumabas na tayo. Hindi, ano ka na si Jen, wala.
Sumuko naman sa National Bureau of Investigation NBI ang 18 miyembro ng pamilya Maute. Lain itong linisin ang kanilang pangalan at itinanggi ng mga ito na sangkot sila sa nangyaring kaguluhan sa Marawi City. Ayon kay Justice Secretary Vitaliano Aguirre, pinayuhan niya ang mga ito na humingi ng tulong sa Public Attorney's Office o PAO para mabigyan sila ng abogado. Inatasan na rin ni Aguirre ang NBI na imbestigahan ang pagkakilanlan ng mga sumukong miyembro ng Maute Clan. Tiniyak naman ng kalihim na pakakawalan nila ang mga ito kapag nalamang wala namang pagkakasala sa batas. Na sa 4 na tauhan ng Philippine Marines ang ipinadala sa lungsod ng Marawi. Lain itong magsagawa ng mopping up operations sa lungsod at pulbusin ang teroristang Maute Group. Alas 3 sa madaling araw nang umalis sa Villamor Air Base sa Pasay City ang 7th Philippine Marine Battalion na nagtapos na kanilang retraining course. Target ng mga Marines na pasukin ang 3 barangay na hawak ngayon ng Maute Group.
As the Maute fighters put up a tough challenge, we're finding out more about the terrorists in Marawi. The Defense Department reveals at least 8 foreign terrorists were killed in clashes. Secretary Delfin Lorenzana says 2 were Malaysians, 2 Saudi nationals, 2 Indonesians, a Yemeni, and Chechen.
I believe so. We are ISIS members. There could be more that we killed that we have not not identified because we have already, as of our body count, we already killed about 95 of them.
Hindi pa rin malaman ng PNP ang kalagayan ng 6 na pulis na naipit sa bakbakan sa Marawi City. Pero ayon kay PNP Chief Ronald Bato de la Rosa, iniulat ng kanyang intel na maaring buhay pa ang mga ito. Sa unang araw pa lamang ng engkwentro sa Marawi City ay naipit na ang 6 na pulis.
Hindi talaga natin masabi kung yung different, yung mga personal circumstances na ngayon, kung kasalukuyang nakipaglaban or kasalukuyang nakatago, kasalukuyang naipit, hindi makalabas dahil may kalaban sa labas.
Snappy and mission-ready in their full battle gear, 400 Marines march to their final formation before they head out to where the action is.
As you can see, the Marines are now boarding the C-130 planes. These aircraft will bring them to Cagayan de Oro City, where they will have to report to the Western Mindanao Command. From there, they will be directed when to reinforce the troops in Marawi City.
Most of them came from Marawi City already, and they are very familiar with the terrain. That is the call of duty and mandate for all of us.
Brigadier General Alvin Pareño of the Philippine Marine Corps reminds the Marines to uphold human rights, especially now that Mindanao is under martial law.
It's been part of their training that they will be reminded about the human rights.
The Philippine Army 2nd Infantry Jungle Fighter Division also sends another 400 soldiers to Marawi City. This is their 4th battalion in Mindanao. The Army Division officers give the troops rosaries sealed with prayers for protection and traveling mercies.
So this first IB were originally planned to undergo the BOE training, or yung tinatawag natin yan yung Battalion Refresher Training. So kaya ready na sila, but case impact. So when orders came that we need additional forces in Mindanao, so sila yung unang na-deploy kasi medyo intact na sila.
More troops are set to fight alongside the Marines and soldiers in Marawi City. Camille Abadisho, CNN Philippines.
Balikbansa na ho ang pangalawang grupo ng mga overseas Filipino workers o OFW na nabigyan ho ng exit visa ng Saudi Arabia government. Ang pangalawang batch ng mga OFW ay binubuo po yan ng 2,984 na undocumented Filipinos. Una nang dumating sa bansa ang 1,300 OFW na nabigyan ng amnestiya ng Saudi Arabia government. Ayon kay Philippine Consul RJ Sumage, sasagutin ng gobyerno ang plane ticket ng mga uuwing OFW. Sa ilalim po ng amnesty program, bibigyan ng 90 araw ang mga dayuhan na umuwi sa kanilang bansa na walang penalty. Nagpahayag ang Energy Regulatory Commission o ERC na ibabalik sa mga consumers ng Meralco ang 6.9 billion peso na refund mula sa over-recovery. May report si Kim Feliciano.
Inaasahang gagaan ang bayad sa kuryente sa oras na maipatupad ng Energy Regulatory Commission ang refund order ng Meralco. Ayon sa kinatawan ng isang consumer alliance na si Romeo Hunya, nag-file ang Meralco ng over-recovery sa ERC na nagkakahalaga ng 6.9 billion pesos at nangakong ibabalik ito sa mga consumers. Ani Hunya, meron na sanang order ang ERC na napagdesisyonan na sa korte na dapat ipatutupad sa bill cycle nitong Mayo. Ngunit ito ay na-revoke at ipinagpaliban ng kasalukuyang officer in charge ng ERC.
The system loss is generation bought minus generation sold equals system loss plus unused electricity. Kung doon sa GOUR, kinumpute mo na yung total generation and the difference, pagdating sa system loss, it's the same generation basket that you are looking at and you are recomputing. So hindi ka ba nagbabayad dyan ng 2 beses?
Ayon sa ERC, isinapinal na ang refund order noong May 2. Pero dahil nag-issue rin ng Presidential Office ng 90-day suspension laban kay ERC Chairman Jose Salazar, ay na-postpone ang pagpapatupad ng refund sa billing ng consumers ngayong buwan at magre-resume sa August kung saan ay marireinstate ng muli si Salazar sa posisyon. Ani ERC, wala umanong pagbabago sa halaga ng kanilang i-refund. Mananatili umanong intact ang pondo para dito. Samantala, nagsumite ng isang position paper ang matuwid na singil sa Kuryente Consumer Alliance na umaasang magkakaroon ng reforma sa mga pamantayan sa pagsingil ng kuryente sa ilalim ng performance-based rate making. Naihalintulad pa ni Hunya ang pagbabayad ng mga consumers ng elektrisidad sa Marawi Siege.
Very much in the same way as the people in Marawi are under siege. It's not an armed conflict, but it is a day-to-day struggle to be able to pay the expensive electricity that Meralco charges us.
Para sa Bayan, Kim Feliciano.
About 11:30 this evening, I received a report that we had unconfirmed shots fired inside Resorts World Manila. Immediately, the PMP, fire service, other emergency services were called to our aid. We're still investigating the situation. The PMP is on site. We have evacuated the building to make sure that our patrons, our staff are safe. At this time, that's all the information I can give you. The building is currently in a lockdown state until we completely clear the area. I will update you as soon as we have more information in approximately 2 hours, but if you can please allow me to deal with the situation with my management team so that everybody is safe and we can continue with business.
Sir, are there still more people inside?
We're searching the area as much as we can to make sure the building is clear.
We've heard there are some more people on the 3rd floor asking for help.
That is not confirmed.
But how about the gunman? How many do you confirm, sir? How many?
I can confirm that shots were fired. I cannot confirm how many come into the building.
Sir, are there any reported casualties, injuries?
As of this time, there is no reported injuries. As of this time.
Sir, did you identify the group of the gunman from the authorities? Did already identify them?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Did they already identify the group that entered the Lux Arman in the...
No, we do not know who the group is at this time. As soon as I have more information, I will update you in approximately 2 more hours. I'm sorry, you have to excuse me. I have to go back with my management team.
Sorry, sir. Do you think were there lapses in the security when it comes to security? How was the gunman able to enter?
That is not known at this time. That will be investigated later.
And sir, did your staff respond in the standard protocol for these kinds of? I mean, have you practiced for these kinds of types of incidents?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And how was the staff response?
Very quick. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'll come back to you as soon as I possibly can. Thank you. Thank you.
My God, I hate drugs.